Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Kara Shirley, your digital news desk host, and it is Wednesday, July the 2nd. And it is a hot day out there. It's going to be a hot next few days. The good thing is, though, chances of rain are just about leaving the picture for the next couple of days. So if you got any big 4th of July plans, you don't have to worry about rain getting in the way. So we're going to be looking at the forecast in just a little bit. Of course, First Alert Weather Team will be here at 2:30 today as well to give you a detailed look at what you can expect as far as heat goes over the weekend and that holiday weekend. If you're tuning in on our mobile app or through our website, thank you so much for watching. And if you are watching on our social streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, anything like that, make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions or thoughts or anything on any of the stories that we bring to you today. You're more than welcome to leave those in the comment section or just say hey or let me know where you are watching from. So let's go ahead, take a look outside right now over Jackson, courtesy of our Jackson water camera. You can see it is a beautiful day out there, absolutely beautiful day. Lots of big puffy clouds and lots of blue sky and lots of sun and heat. So we'll be looking at that, like I said, the forecast in just a little bit. Hey, Britt, I see you there saying, hey, Kara, hello to you. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I hope you have or do you have any big plans for the 4th of July? Well, let's go ahead and get into the news now. Some sad news out of a crash that happened in Clinton this morning. One person did lose their life in this crash. So it happened on I-20 westbound at the Spring Ridge Road exit, 836 in Clinton. According to the Hinds County coroner, Jeremiah Howard, an 18-wheeler and a passenger vehicle collided, killing the driver of the passenger vehicle. So the driver of the 18-wheeler was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The city of Clinton said that emergency personnel and law enforcement were there until the daylight hours, managing the investigation, working to clear the scene, clear the roadways. I know it shut down traffic there for a while. Traffic was diverted to I believe it was Highway 18 there where that happened. So thoughts and prayers going, of course, to the family of the person who lost their life. Their name has not been released yet, nor has it been released what the cause of the crash was. But as soon as we get that information, we will pass it along to you guys. Melissa Price here on our social stream saying hello, happy Wednesday. Hello to you as well, Melissa. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Keep thinking it's Thursday. It's like my brain will not lock on it being Wednesday, but it is. It's just Wednesday, but it's a good day. It's a good day. All right. Well, staying in Clinton, 2 people have been arrested for a deadly shooting that happened there, and the victim's name has been released. And so you can see here on your map, where Meadowwick Drive is here on the screen. And so this shooting happened around 9 o'clock Monday morning on Meadowwick Drive. The interim coroner for Hinds County identified the victim as 33-year-old Courtney Jackson of Jackson. 2 people are now in custody. They did surrender to police, but their names have not been released. Police say that this was an isolated incident and their investigation continues. We get more info on that, we will pass it along to you. And bond has been denied for 2 brothers who were charged in connection with the recent mass shooting that happened in Fayette. So that's according to the Vicksburg Daily News. Michael Ross Jr. and Devin Ross, you can see them here on your screen, both of Vicksburg, are charged with murder in the shooting, which happened in late May. 22-year-old Rashad Hudson was killed in that shooting. A third person has also been charged in this case. Several people were shot and one person did lose their life. So we'll continue to follow that for you as well. Looking here, Tyler Vance says, hey, Tyler, how are you? And Britt doesn't have any plans to have family coming in for the 4th of July. Well, I hope you enjoy that. having family come in. I have no plans either. I'm definitely going to go and watch the fireworks this year, though I haven't seen the fireworks in several years. So I'm definitely going to be doing that this year. Well, coming back to the news and going to Humphrey County, where a man there has been sentenced to 40 years behind bars for trying to kill another man 2 years ago. So during this 2-day trial, witnesses testified Thomas Johnson, him on your screen, or here on your screen, tried to kill Randy Toy after allegedly trying to sexually assault him June 24th of 2023. The jury reached its verdict last week after hearing testimony, including that of the victim. Johnson now faces 40 years in the custody of the Mississippi Department of Corrections. And Jackson leaders some of the Jackson leaders said that Thalia Mara Hall is ready to be back open, or is back open to the public. They say, though, that there is a few things that still need to be finished there. So remediation in the facility is complete, but the beam that supports the fire curtain contained asbestos, and it is undergoing remediation. A second chiller will be installed in the fall of next year, which cuts the number of people in attendance from 2,000 to 800 until that is complete, until that second chiller is added. Elevators and escalators remain inoperable at this time. Performers who want to entertain you say that those repairs are necessary for them to come back to Thalia Mara.
We would not be interested in going back in there until it's 100% functional. And because it's a bad experience for the audience, nobody wants to come to a building that they know has problems, but very confident and very hopeful that Mayor Horn and his team are going to do a great job of getting this building back up and running, as well as maintaining other city facilities.
The city contract engineer was unsure if any shows had been scheduled at the venue since it reopened. And speaking of Mayor Horn, as they just did there, he was inaugurated yesterday. He took his oath of office, as well as Jackson City Council members and city leaders from all across the area had their inauguration ceremonies yesterday. So the highlight of yesterday's ceremony was, of course, the newly elected Mayor John Horn. He steps into this role after serving for more than 3 decades in the state legislature. So during his first remarks as mayor, Horn said that the city is not in a good place right now, and he's pledging to change that. He wants to improve public safety and find ways to reduce crime. He also wants to improve the city's streets and bring in more job opportunities. And while the new mayor wants to see the city move forward, he says it's going to take everyone working together to make that happen.
That is our challenge in Jackson, Mississippi right now. How can we make our folks flourish? And I believe that we can do it. Because Delbert Holzman and Tate Reeves said they're going to help. Because Congressman Thompson said he's going to help. Because the supervisors said they're going to help Jackson. I believe that we can turn this city around. And I know that the people are ready.
Of course, along with Horn, as I said earlier, members of the Jackson City Council were also sworn in as well. And as the new administration settles in, federal officials are seeking to recover several $1,000s in the bribery investigation, which is linked to the previous administration. The prosecutors have filed what is called a bill of particulars in the U.S. District Court, saying that the money was taken from a bank account that is tied to the October indictment. The document did not indicate who owns that account. Last fall, then Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba, City Councilman Aaron Banks, and Hinds County District Attorney Jody Owens were charged in connection with a bribery scheme. All 3 of them have pled not guilty. They are awaiting trial. That trial is set to begin next year. So we will continue to follow if there are any updates or anything new comes out of this, we will continue to update you on that. You can also go to our website, wlbt.com. Let me show it to you here. So here is our website. And if you would like to see all of the stories and investigations that we have done regarding the JXN Bribery Scheme, you can find them all here on our website, wlbt.com, and of course on our mobile app as well. Meanwhile, after those funds are looking to be retrieved by the feds, a man at the center of a bribery trial involving former interim Hinds County Sheriff Marshawn Chrysler will not have his sentence thrown out. The U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has dismissed Toneri Moore's appeal. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison for possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, and he filed the appeal days later. Prosecutors had argued that he met with Chrysler 6 times while Chrysler was serving as the interim sheriff. They say Chrysler had promised Moore a job and supplied him with ammunition in exchange for cash. Prosecutors also argued that Moore had waived his right to an appeal as part of his plea agreement, so that appeal request was denied. And it has been 5 years since the old state flag flew for the final time over the state capitol. And we spoke with those who pushed for the change and what it has meant moving forward to them. One of the discussions around what changing the flag would do involved the economic impact. The Mississippi Economic Council had been working behind the scenes for years and ramped up the It's Time campaign in 2020. President and CEO Scott Waller told the developers phones went silent as the flag discussion was at a fever pitch, but they started to get new interest after it was final.
Had we missed this opportunity, I hate to think where we would be today. We're going to be having a conversation talking about the tremendous economic growth, the GDP growth, the opportunities in other sectors of the economy that didn't exist before, had that flag not changed.
A full retirement ceremony was held at the Capitol with the flags being carried by state officials to the 2 museums. The largest of the 3 flags from the Capitol grounds is on display at the Museum of Mississippi History now, and the other 2 are stored for preservation in the collections room of the museum. Before we look at our forecast and then also look at this week's segment in our Fight the Blight series, let's hear from our sponsors at Jackson Water.
Curious about our water system? Join the Jackson Water Academy to get the inside scoop on our water and sewer operations. 3 sessions, 3 months, and a whole lot of hands-on know-how. You'll even get a behind-the-scenes tour of the O.B. Curtis Water Treatment Plant. So if you're ready to dive in, head to jacksonwater.com/wateracademy or give us a ring at 601-500-5200 to apply. But hurry, spots are going fast.
Again, thank you to Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus, making it possible to bring you this show weekdays at 1. Let's look at our temperatures outside right now. We are sitting in the upper 80s across the area. However, it is hot, and that feels like temperature is a lot different. So we're looking at 89 here in Jackson. However, the feel like temperature outside right now is 99 degrees. So it is pretty hot out there. If we look at our forecast, you can see there is just a little spot of rain down in Wilkinson County, but otherwise we look clear across the area. And if we look over our next 12 hours, you can see that those rain chances are falling off to 0 in the overnight hours as we drop down into the mid 70s. Our 7-day forecast is looking at raised temperatures. Yeah, temperatures are going up, but the rain chances are going down. So you can see Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 0% chance of rain, but the highs are going to be in the mid 90s, even to close to the upper 90s on Saturday. So you want to make sure that you are, if you're outside enjoying the 4th of July weekend and festivities and celebrations, that you stay hydrated and you make sure you have a place to cool off, either some shade or stuff like that. You know, just take care of yourself and be safe out there. So now let's take a look at this week's Fight the Blight.
Now, Fight the Blight, a year-long investigation from WLBT. 3 on your side.
And like I said, that is a year-long investigation that we are doing here every Tuesday on air. And then Wednesday, for me, we bring you our latest edition of Fight the Blight, where we are looking to hopefully fight the blighted properties in the blighted areas here in Jackson, shed light on them, and move or spark positive forward change within the city. So one good thing that happened that actually took effect yesterday was some new laws that are designed to help fight the blight, some in the form of tax incentives for redevelopment. So House Bill 1201 directs the Secretary of State's office to establish an income tax credit program for taxpayers who develop state forfeited properties for owner-occupied dwellings or commercial buildings. It gives a state tax credit of up to 25% on eligible rehabilitation projects and a 75% tax credit as a rebate, with a maximum of $50,000 for residential properties and $100,000 for commercial sites. So House Bill 733 creates the Property Cleanup Revolving Fund, which is a new grant program administered by the Mississippi Home Corporation for property cleanup. Up to 15 grants can go to local governments, totaling up to $2,000 each. The city of Jackson is eligible to receive up to 30 of those grants.
I had the pleasure of serving on Speaker White's Jackson Revitalization Task Force, and we discovered that a huge problem in the city of Jackson are blighted properties that are tax forfeited. So with this new legislation, it's going to allow developers to come into the city and owner occupants, businesses, wherever it is that you are, and purchase these homes and get tax incentives for redeveloping our neighborhoods.
There are more than 1,400 tax forfeited properties in the city of Jackson alone, along with more than 2,400 blighted parcels. So that's a good laws that have gone into effect, that have changed and went into effect starting yesterday. Other laws that went into effect yesterday, new laws, and this one of them is actually happened in part because of a series of our reports. So Senate Bill 2211 requires that emergency rooms have a sufficient number of rape kits. Someone must also be present to perform them. That was something that was not in a place before this. And so that is one law that went into effect yesterday. Another law that went into effect yesterday is a new law that gives local law enforcement the authority to enforce mail theft crimes. So we've talked to you, many of you, about thieves stealing your checks from post office drop boxes in Jackson and other places in the metro. Conviction for a first offense is 5 years in prison and up to a $5,000 penalty. So those are just a couple of laws that also went into effect yesterday, in addition to the ones that are designed to help fight the blight here, not just here in Jackson, but across Mississippi. So those are awesome things that happened yesterday. And, you know, let's talk about something that I'm sure everybody, well, maybe everybody, a lot of people will probably have at their 4th of July celebrations this weekend, and that is a watermelon. The Mississippi farmers are saying that with all of the rain that we've been getting, it's been a great year for watermelons. And you can find people selling their crops all over the state, especially up and down Highway 49. So Walmart stands crop up along the highway every year. And did I say what? Watermelon stands. Did I say that? that. I felt like I didn't say that right. Watermelon stands crop up along the highway every year, and we are right now in the heart of the watermelon season. And you might even see more than usual given the quantity of this year's harvest. One seller says she does her best to remind drivers to be safe as they stop to buy and merge back into traffic.
But some days are busy, some days not so busy, but we keep our signs out far enough down to give people plenty of time to slow down, so, there's no accidents.
Law enforcement wants people to stay aware of their surroundings when buying fresh produce along the highway. So if you do stop, get you one of those good Smith County watermelons, get you some fresh fruit and vegetables, and be careful out there. And starting in 1 week, the Choctaw Indian Fair gets underway. I used to go to the Choctaw Indian Fair every year, and I absolutely love it. It is a great event. Well, this year it's running from July 8th through the 12th over in Neshoba County, and you can check out all that the Choctaw culture has to offer. It really is a beautiful culture, and just beauty to see the baskets that they make there by hand and some of the jewelry that they make. And then, of course, fry bread, as you can see right there being made. So they have a traditional dance, arts and craft. A new Choctaw Indian princess is going to be crowned on July 9th. And, of course, there is live entertainment every night. Some of the performers include Chapel Heart, Mississippi's own Chapel Heart, and Flow Rida. So go make sure you get out and enjoy that if you have the opportunity. Like I said, it's the 8th through the 12th in Neshoba County. I loved the Choctaw Indian Fair. Loved it. I may try it to sneak over there and go this year. All right, guys, that is it for WLBT Plus today. Don't forget our First Alert weather team will be here at 2:30 to give you a look at the forecast. And I will be back tomorrow to give you the top 3 from WLBT and for the WLBT Plus here at 1. I hope you all have a great day. Stay safe out in that heat, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.